What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link is in the description box also. They asked me to put it up. I put it up. This video is entitled 5 Habits That Help You Fail. Or 5 ways people fall off, whatever. These 5 things, let's get into it. The first bad habit, 5 bad habits that'll help you fail, is first and foremost is being unorganized. Unorganized people fall off and fail. And the reason why is because when you're unorganized, you're all over the place. You actually have no time to improve because you're spinning your wheels because you're always putting out a fire because you're unorganized. And it could be you're unorganized because you're just simply unorganized, or you're a procrastinator and everything catches up with you, however you want to see it. But this aids in your failure, and this helps you to fail. This aids in your failure. I'm sorry, and it aids in you falling off in life, because what you wind up doing is you keep putting off stuff. Like you don't wash your clothes and then they pile up. You don't clean your room or your home and it piles up. You don't cut the grass and it piles up. You don't do the dishes and it piles up. If you got homework, you don't do your homework and it piles up. So to fix this, one day you got to do it all at once. And it takes forever and a day to do. And you're tired because, you had to lump, however amount of time of mess that you made into a short window, and you wore yourself out. And you keep doing this from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, because you keep putting off everything. It's like spring cleaning. People do spring cleaning, and then to maintain it, they clean up on a regular schedule, but you don't do that. You're unorganized. So by the time you actually get organized, you take a good look at yourself and you realize either you're failing or you fell off because you spent so much time unorganized and disheveled that you never took a good look at yourself and see how bad you've gotten. So that's a problem. Another way that people fall off is fashion. See, fashion is funny because, and I'm gonna say this in a literal term, and a figurative term, literary and figurative. I'm having a problem today. But the thing about fashion is fashion changes. So if you're in a bad situation, you putting lipstick on a pig, and if you keep changing the lipstick, the pig is still the same, but the new lipstick allows you to waste more time to not improve and to fail and to fall off. So, you've gotten to this new fashion and you're not looking at how you look. You're looking at how this new fashion looks on you. Or I'm in the freshest, nicest of stuff. I'm in this season's apparel. And your fashion keeps changing seasonally. But you never took into consideration, you never took inventory on where you're stagnated or failing or falling off, because the fashion it is a distraction for your own accountability. So one of these days when you can't afford to be fashionable and the trends are too far gone, or you settle down and you become a little bit more practical, that's when you take a look at yourself and you find out you're failing or you fell off because you were looking at the fashion. And if you take pictures of yourself, you start looking at yourself um, in hindsight, when you see the old pictures of yourself, and when you thought you was killing it, now you're looking at yourself like, y'all let me go out like this? Like, I was terrible. Look, I wasn't taking care of myself. Because you wasn't even worried about taking care of yourself. You was worried about that fashion. And it comes back to bite you because this is how you failed or fell off. Number 3, you fall off because you're out here fishing for validation. You know something is wrong, but it's not that bad because you still get people to tell you all right. So you out here, yeah, I can improve, I could be better, but I still got it though, right? And then, yeah, you still got it. And see that fishing for those compliments and that validation lets you continue to progressively get worse because you didn't. As long as people tell you all right, then that means you're not that far off of being your best self. And what you're not realizing is, you're asking people, you're fishing for validation with people that's going to tell you what you want to hear. So you know they're not telling you the truth. You know who to ask for validation, and you know who not to ask. So when you're out here fishing and they give you that excuse, it helps you. It helps your self-esteem. It helps you put off improving once again. And then you become a failure, or you start falling off even worse. And you don't pay attention to it because misery loves company, and you wind up fishing for validation in a pond of misery. And people want to see you just as failed as they are. You're fishing in the pond of fall offs, people that fell off, and they're like, oh yeah, you good, because as long as y'all commiserate with this validation, there'll be no self-improvement. Now, number 4. The number 4 reason why ways people fall off or bad habits that people fail is you lie to yourself. See, you lie to yourself about what it takes to be your best. You lie to yourself that you could bounce back just like that. You lie to yourself that if this person is at their apex, you lie to yourself and you say, well, it only took them a certain amount of time to get there, and they had to bust their butts and they had to keep improving, but I'm not too far off of that level. So, when I really want to turn it on, I ain't got much work to do. I'll be right there, just lickety split. And this is a bad habit why people fail and people fall off, because what winds up happening is you lied to yourself to the point that you believed your own lie. And then when you attempt to catch up and get to the top of the mountain, you get utterly crushed and discouraged because, it can't be you aren't really ready. You're unprepared. It can't be that you fell off. It can't be that you utterly failed. It can't be like, you're a shell of what you even thought you were. It's got to be something else. So you'll never take accountability or take an evaluation of yourself to say, I need to make some improvements here. So as long as you don't take accountability, we good. Which leads to number 5. Number 5 bad habit of people who fall off or fail They make other people responsible for their failures and for them falling off. See, everything that you did to yourself, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you let yourself go. It's, you know, you shouldn't have been cooking that food. It's not your fault that you ate too much of it. It's not your fault. You know, it's not your fault that you were ill prepared because you procrastinated. You know, it's not your fault. It's somebody else's fault because, you know, they got you away from doing your job and what was important to you. You know, it's not your fault that you put half-ass effort into your self-improvement or into success. It's other people's fault because you would have put in the effort if they didn't distract you. You would have focused if it wasn't for them. So this is what aids in, you know, people failing and falling off, because you never take responsibility. And if you never take responsibility, it's never your fault that you failed, and you'll never have to fix it, because you're going to always say, I don't have to fix this failure. I didn't really fall off. You made me fall off, so you need to fix this failure, or you need to put me back on top. So, just my opinion. These are 5, you know, bad habits of people who fell off. So, we out. Peace.